Due to the recent events in the Middle East, Israel and its crimes against humanity are once again the topic of news programs all around the world. This has led to mass mobilizations of all kinds of people, even in the First World. And although it's inspiring to see people attending protests for humanitarian causes, much potential for organization and education is lost due to grave mistakes. This video is intended to put forth some suggestions on how to effectively use the current situation for anti-imperialist agitation. 1. No anti-Semitism. It's unfortunate that this has to be mentioned, but recent reports have shown that there are people who are still unable to differentiate between Israel and being Jewish. Israel does not represent Judaism. In fact, there are many Jews who reject the idea of a Jewish state and are actively fighting for the liberation of Palestine from the Zionist imperialist rule. The idea that this conflict is simply that of a religious nature is nothing more than identity politics and is ahistorical. The ruling class is using this kind of thinking to make the oppressed fight each other, instead of uniting against their shared enemy, the capitalists. Israel exists because it is a tool of the capitalist class to maintain its dominance. Therefore, anti-Israel action must be directed against the imperialist ruling class and not against Jews. 2. Educate. The less is known about the Palestinian struggle, the less people know about Israel's racist origins and the crimes against humanity it has committed and is committing to this very day, as well as the purpose that Israel serves in international politics as a tool of imperialist power projection in the Middle East. Let people see the other side of the story and give a voice to the victims of imperialism. 3. Set realistic goals. The Zionist rule over Palestine won't be stopped anytime soon. Therefore, it's more important to focus on what can be achieved right now. Maybe you can educate people on the background of this conflict. Maybe you can collect money for humanitarian aid, or perhaps you can even organize an anti-war movement in your region. Whatever it is, even small accomplishments are preferable to staying at home and dreaming about the future. The most important thing now is to strive for solidarity and peace. 4. Don't fall victim to smear campaigns. When you question Israel, you question the interests of the ruling class. Expect bourgeois media to twist your statements and to portray you in a bad light. They may try to paint you as a backward anti-Semite or a supporter of terrorism. It's therefore necessary to be careful with your actions. Don't do anything that might be interpreted in a misleading way. For example, bourgeois media portrays the burning of the flag of Israel as an act of anti-Semitism, even if Israel does not represent Judaism, as previously stated. And so it would be wise to refrain from such acts. You should also never hesitate to criticize the wrongdoings of your own comrades. As Lenin said, if you don't criticize your own mistakes, your enemies will use them against you. It's also important to maintain your social media presence in order to counter the narrative of the capitalist class. With these suggestions, we hope that we can help you make the most out of the recent media coverage that the conflict in Palestine is currently receiving.